There's a shift that just clicked inside of you. And divine feminine, it changed everything. You've done the work no one could see, healed the parts of yourself that kept you circling old patterns, and now something real is starting to move. You can feel it, right? That sense that what you've been envisioning, what you've been calling in for months, maybe even years, is finally close enough to touch. It's not just a vibe, it's a full body yes from the universe. And what's coming next isn't just a blessing, it's the reward you built from the inside out. Hello, soul family. Welcome to Spiritual Manifestation. If this is your first time, welcome. If not, I'm glad to have you home. I just want to take a moment to say how grateful I am that you're here, because the energy that's already coming through feels powerful, and I can tell this message is meant for someone who truly needs it today. Before we dive in, a quick reminder. If you feel called to go deeper, the extended readings and extra guidance are always available on Patreon and through YouTube memberships. That's where we get into the longer, more personal layers of these messages, and it's a beautiful space to connect on a deeper level. And while you're here, don't forget to support the channel by liking this video, leaving a comment below, and sharing this reading with someone who may need to hear it. Your energy in this community makes such a difference, and I love reading your thoughts and reflections. Now let's go ahead and shuffle the deck together. Spirit, we ask you to guide us in this moment, to bring through the clearest and most aligned messages for those listening. As I set the energy for this reading, I can already feel the cards beginning to stir, and I know something important is ready to come through. Divine Feminine. As I shuffle the deck for your first message, the card that rises in my hands is the Hermit. And the moment I see this card, I feel a quiet wave move through me, because it matches your current chapter so perfectly that it almost takes my breath away. The Hermit comes forward for you with the soft reminder that even though your world may feel strange, quiet, or even dim in some ways right now, you are not misplaced or forgotten there. You are being guided into a season of deep spiritual anchoring, inner reflection, and energetic refinement. And although this path can feel lonely at times, it is actually a divine assignment. So many people move through life without ever brushing against the depth that you walk through daily. But you, Divine Feminine, are someone who came into this world with a soul that was always meant to be stretched, strengthened, and awakened in ways that most would never understand. In this season, I feel that your environment may appear dark at first glance, either literally in the physical atmosphere around you, or symbolically in the energy of the people you're surrounded by. And I want to validate that sense because it feels real, it feels heavy at times, and it feels like you are carrying a quiet awareness that something about where you are doesn't match the frequency you've been growing into. But the Hermit is showing me that although you may be surrounded by coldness, distance, or a lack of emotional depth from others, your soul knows that you are exactly where you must be right now. There is a subtle knowing within you that you're holding a light in a place that has not yet awakened to its own inner warmth, and that your presence is quietly shaping the energy around you. I'm sensing an inner struggle. Part of you wonders if you should run, move, change locations, or find a completely new circle. but something deeper inside of you keeps whispering that there is meaning here and that you have a purpose that hasn't fully shown itself yet. I see this beautiful paradox moving through your soul, where you feel both very different from your surroundings and deeply rooted in them at the same time. That contrast can make you feel restless, like you're walking with your dreams and your truth tucked into your chest, while the world around you is still asleep to their own. But the hermit is showing me that you are serving as a heater of sorts. Your frequency, your vision, your inner fire, they are warming the atmosphere even if you can't see it yet. You may feel like you're the only one who notices the subtle shifts, the inner nudges, the spiritual signs, and the quiet confirmations that something is changing beneath the surface. And yet it's because you've been chosen to be the one who sees in the dark, who senses what others cannot, and who steps into a room as a beam that pierces through heaviness without ever needing to announce yourself. This message wants to remind you that although the space around you may look stagnant, there is a divine reason that your soul has not been released from it yet. You are, in many ways, like a lantern that's been placed exactly where the collective temperature is lowest, so that your frequency can begin to thaw and soften what has been frozen. And I feel that you've questioned this many times, asking yourself why you're still here, or wondering if you've missed a sign telling you to move on. But your soul is not confused. Something in you knows that you are being prepared, expanded, and sharpened in this exact location, as though spirit is chiseling away any last blocks within you before your next breakthrough. And the hermit energy makes it clear that your aloneness is not punishment. It is sacred training, designed to help you hear your own voice louder than any outside noise. At times, divine feminine, I feel you've struggled with the quiet because the silence makes room for old echoes to rise. The hermit tells me that you've had moments recently where you felt your inner world press against you, asking you to sit with emotions that you once tried to outrun. And although that confrontation has been uncomfortable, it has also made you stronger, wiser, clearer, and more magnetic than you've ever been. You are not just learning how to hold your own energy. You are learning how to stay centered even when the room around you hasn't caught up to your frequency yet. So much spiritual maturity has grown in you during this time, and I see your guide standing so close, watching with pride as you choose yourself again and again, even when the external environment gives you very little validation. There is also a sense that this stillness you've been living in is not permanent, and the hermit wants you to know that this won't always be your world. But before spirit shifts you into the next phase, you were meant to sit in this depth long enough to learn how to trust your own inner light without needing anyone else to reflect it back to you. You were meant to learn how to hold your vision even when everything around you seemed quiet, heavy, or uninspiring. And this is why I feel that something huge is building for you behind the scenes. A kind of sudden opening, a shift, a wave of movement that will show up when you least expect it. When I tune into that, it feels like rapid change, quick manifestations, and people who suddenly see you clearly because your inner work will soon begin transforming your outer world. Divine Feminine. The Hermit card here isn't telling you that you must stay alone, hidden, or isolated. It's telling you that you've reached such a powerful place inside yourself that your physical surroundings no longer define who you are or how far you can go. You carry so much light right now that even darkness has to bow to it. And although you might not always recognize the glow, every time you question yourself, every time you feel misunderstood, every time you wonder if your path is strange or unusual, remember that it takes rare souls to walk paths that haven't been walked before. You were never meant to be average, and you were never meant to blend into the crowd. Your spirit is different because your purpose is different, and the hermit is the proof. Divine feminine, my fingers stop on a card that feels like it's glowing in my hands. The sun. And the moment I pull it, I hear the words, "You are the light." This card carries a truth that your soul already knows, but maybe hasn't heard in a while. You don't just bring warmth into the room, you are the warmth. You don't just reflect joy, you generate it. And even when you feel like you're walking through places that are cold, dull, or energetically quiet, it's because you are the one who was meant to light them up from the inside out. This message is so clear. You are not just in this place for yourself. Yes, you're growing here. Yes, your soul is deepening. But there's more. You are also impacting this space. Whether you see it or not, your energy is doing something powerful. Your presence shifts the atmosphere. Even when the world around you doesn't acknowledge it, you are holding something sacred, something soft and golden, something that silently reminds others that warmth still exists. This is why your guides placed you here. Not because you needed the light, but because you are the light. There's something really beautiful happening in your energy right now, Divine Feminine. You're in a chapter where you're no longer just receiving guidance. You've become the guide. You're not just inspired. You've become the inspiration. I feel this deeply. You're not waiting on the world to hand you magic. You are the generator of magic, of muse, of joy, of connection. Your light doesn't come from others. It pours from within you. You are the match, the fire, the flame that was born to burn bright in places that forgot how to glow. And even if you've been feeling out of place lately, wondering why no one seems to reflect your energy or understand your pace, the sun card tells me that it's because you're vibrating higher than your environment, not in a prideful way, but in a deeply spiritual one. You are moving through your own evolution right now, and you've outgrown the patterns, the loops, and the shadows of the people and places around you. But instead of pulling away or running, your soul chose to stay long enough to leave a little light behind. And in doing so, you're becoming the answer to prayers people haven't even said out loud yet. I also feel this strong message coming through. You're entering an era of receiving. You've been giving for so long, your heart, your love, your time, your hope. And now it's time for it all to circle back to you. The doors you knocked on before that stayed shut, they're about to swing open in ways that surprise you. Things you've visualized, prayed for, journaled about, they're lining up right now, and it won't be slow. I'm seeing that when it begins, it's going to move fast. Not just one thing, but everything. The job, the relationship, the healing, the clarity, all of it, all at once. And it's not because you're lucky. It's because you stayed faithful to the light inside of you when no one else could see it. Divine Feminine, Your energy is different now, and it's because you've been doing the inner work quietly, without needing applause. You've been showing up for your growth day after day, even when it felt like no one noticed. But the universe noticed, your guides noticed, your higher self has been watching with pride. And now the shift you've been sensing, it's real. The old era, the one where you were constantly planting and waiting, it's ending. You're stepping into a season where things finally bloom. This is your season of sunlight, not borrowed, not begged for, but earned. There's also something I need to say about the people around you. Some of them may not understand what's happening inside you right now. They might sense the shift in your energy, but not have the words for it. That's okay. Let them feel the warmth, even if they can't name the source. You weren't made to dim for others. You were made to show them what's possible. You're not here to be accepted by the room. You're here to change the frequency of it. And the Sun card shows me that you are already doing that in more ways than you know. So if you're wondering whether your presence matters, whether you're seen, whether your energy is making a difference, this is your answer. Yes, you are the light. You are the shift. You are the warmth in the winter, the spark in the silence, the sunbeam in the storm. This phase of your life, it's not about struggle, it's about shining. You are no longer asking for your blessings. They are being delivered. And they are coming not because you begged for them, but because you became them. And Divine Feminine, if the room still feels dim, don't question yourself. Look again. It's not dark. It's just that you're the light. Divine Feminine, the card I just pulled for you is the Magician. And as soon as I did, something inside me lit up. I feel this energy rising in your life, like something that has been long awaited is finally beginning to stir. This isn't just any moment. This is the moment. The one your soul has been preparing for quietly, patiently, without even realizing just how close it was. It's like everything you've been working on behind the scenes, every silent prayer, every late night visualization, every dream you held in your heart when no one else believed, is starting to align. And not just align slowly, but rapidly, clearly, unmistakably. The shift is here. This card is reminding you that you're not just waiting for magic, Divine Feminine. You are the magic. You hold all the elements within you, the clarity of thought, the emotional depth, the physical readiness, and the spiritual connection. You are not missing anything. The Magician brings the message that all the tools are in your hands. You've gathered the wisdom, the strength, and the courage over time. And now it's time to put it all together. There's a kind of electricity in the air around you, a hum of possibility, and whether or not you fully feel it yet, your soul knows it's time. Time to move, time to create, time to call it all in. And here's what's wild. What you're calling in isn't just one thing, it's everything. I feel like life is about to surprise you in multiple areas all at once. Love, purpose, joy, abundance, the friendships you've been craving, the sense of belonging, the dream home or the dream version of yourself. It's not going to be a slow drip anymore. It's going to pour in. And that's because you've reached the kind of alignment that doesn't just attract one thing, it attracts all things. The moment you stopped chasing and started believing, the frequency shifted. And now the universe is rearranging everything to meet you. What's really beautiful here is that this shift didn't happen overnight. It's the result of everything you've done to shift your energy from the inside out. Whether that was through daily intention setting, inner healing, releasing the past, choosing stillness, or choosing joy even in the quiet moments, it all counted. Even the days you doubted yourself, you kept going. Even the days when it felt like nothing was happening, something was. Energy was moving, beliefs were breaking, your soul was clearing the path, and the magician is showing up now to remind you that you weren't imagining it. That work mattered. It created this. There's also something really deep coming through about the subconscious, that part of you that's been holding on to old stories, fears, doubts. It's softening now. There's a clearing happening beneath the surface. It's like your soul finally believes that it's safe to receive, safe to want more, safe to dream big and not shrink back. And this safety, this trust, it's opening a portal. You may start noticing little signs throughout your day, like repeating numbers, strangers saying something that resonates, a song lyric that hits differently, or even just a wave of calm out of nowhere. These aren't coincidences. They're confirmation that you're in sync, that your frequency is working with you now, not against you. Divine Feminine, this is your quantum leap moment, and you don't have to force it. The beauty of where you are now is that you don't need to push anymore. You've already done the heavy lifting. Now it's about receiving, aligning, and allowing the ripple effect to unfold. The magician is your reminder that manifestation isn't about controlling every detail. It's about trusting that your inner world is powerful enough to shift the outer. And yours has. Your heart, your mind, your energy. It's all in alignment. And that's why the next part of your journey is going to feel lighter, faster, and more magical than anything before. So if you're feeling this deep anticipation, like something big is coming, but you can't quite name it yet, trust that feeling. That's your soul recognizing the arrival of everything you've been calling in. And I don't just mean one thing. I mean the life that feels like home, the love that sees all of you, the purpose that lights your fire, the daily joy that doesn't need to be chased. You've moved from vision into vibration, from hoping into knowing. And the magician wants you to claim it now, not someday, now. Before we pull the next card, I just want to pause for a moment and check in with you. How has this been resonating with you so far? If something in these first 3 cards has already spoken to your heart, let me know in the comments. I love reading how these messages meet you right where you are. All right, let's go ahead and see what Spirit has for us as we pull the next card. Divine Feminine, the next card that came through for you is the King of Wands. And oh my soul, this energy feels bold, bright, and beautifully integrated. The moment I pulled this card, I could feel how far you've come in your healing journey, especially when it comes to the sacred masculine energy within you. This isn't about someone else. This is about you. You've stepped into a place of self-leadership, grounded strength, and steady purpose, and it's changing everything. What used to feel out of reach is now responding to your energy, not your effort. And that shift, it's powerful, it's magnetic, and it's opening the door to manifestations that are woven from deep alignment. This card is reflecting the inner king energy you've been building quietly. Through every moment you chose yourself, stood your ground, or gave yourself the structure you once waited for someone else to give. You've become your own protector, your own planner, your own gentle guide. That's the masculine within you rising, not to control or dominate, but to support the softness within you. It's a sacred balance you've created. Because you healed the chaos of push and pull, and now there's peace between your drive and your flow. This is what true manifestation is made of. Not just wishing, but holding the energy strong enough for the wish to land and grow. What's coming through so clearly here is that your manifestations are not trickling in one by one. They're showing up all at once because they've been weaving together behind the scenes. You've been aligning your entire life, not just one area. And because of that, every part is now syncing up. Love, career, finances, soul path, confidence, creativity. It's all rising together. There's this feeling like a wheel turning fast, gaining momentum, and everything it touches starts lighting up. And it's happening because you are the source of that light. Your balance, your devotion, your inner alignment, it's calling it all in. And here's what's even more beautiful: divine feminine. It's not just the outcomes that are changing, it's how people see you. You're about to feel more seen than ever before. Appreciation is going to meet you in places it never did. Not because you're trying harder, but because you're finally walking in the truth of who you are. Your worth isn't hidden anymore. You're not trying to prove anything. You're simply radiating what you've always carried. And people can feel that. They're going to start treating you like someone who knows their value, because that's the energy you've been holding inside. And the world? It's just catching up now. You've also shifted something subtle but deep in your field. You no longer chase. That part of you that used to overextend or overgive to be accepted, it's quiet now. Instead, you receive, you allow, you attract. This is your healed masculine doing its job. It's created the safety inside of you for your divine feminine to rise. And that's why you feel so rooted in your vision lately. That's why your intuition is louder, your boundaries are clearer, and your desires feel more possible. You're not just hoping anymore. You're expecting, because your energy knows what it deserves. So if things have felt slow lately, don't doubt the timing. What's really been happening is deeper than it looks. You've been energetically stitching together the whole picture of your life, and when it starts to manifest, it's going to unfold like a story that suddenly makes perfect sense. All the waiting, the healing, the rebuilding, it was never wasted. It was preparing you to hold something greater. And now, that greater thing is arriving. You're stepping into your victory era, not through control, but through alignment. Not by pushing, but by embodying. And the King of Wands is here to remind you, you've always had the power, but now you finally feel it. Divine Feminine, the card I just pulled for you is the Eight of Cups, and the feeling that came with it hit deep in my chest. It's that quiet, powerful moment when you walk away from something, not because you're angry, not because you're defeated, but because something inside of you finally knows you deserve more. And here's the thing. This isn't fresh heartbreak. This is that soft, silent decision you made some time ago, maybe even without realizing it, to let go of an old version of yourself, to leave behind something you once thought you'd never live without. And now you're beginning to feel the weight lift, little by little, until one day you wake up and realize you're free. This card speaks so clearly of a journey you've taken, one where the shift was gradual, but the breakthrough feels like it's hitting all at once. Maybe it was a mindset, a fear, a relationship, or just a version of yourself that always kept you doubting your worth. And you stayed in that loop for a long time thinking, maybe it's just me, or maybe this will change, or maybe I just need to be more patient. But deep down, something stronger was growing. Your courage, your knowing, that inner whisper that said, you're not meant to stay stuck here. And slowly, with every choice you made to honor yourself, you began moving. Maybe it didn't look dramatic on the outside, but internally, you were walking your way out of the old. And now, divine feminine, the world is going to start reflecting that back to you. There's blossoming abundance rising up in your field, manifestations that were rooted so long ago, you might have even forgotten they existed. But they've been alive under the surface all this time, waiting for the moment your soul finally made room for them to grow. You're going to notice things start to bloom in unexpected ways. A conversation that leads to an opportunity, a sudden inner nudge to revisit an old dream, even things tied to visibility, your name being spoken in places you never expected, your energy drawing attention without trying. Some of you might even be stepping into spaces that bring you into the public eye or open doors in creative or performance-related paths. If that resonates for you, trust it. You're no longer hiding the light that was always meant to be seen. What's beautiful is that this freedom didn't come through force. It came because you kept showing up for your healing, even on the days when it felt like you were walking in circles. You kept asking hard questions, feeling hard feelings, and choosing not to abandon yourself. And now, divine feminine, you've broken a cycle that once felt impossible to escape. You've released something that had a grip on you for far too long, something that once made you feel small, insecure, or not enough. And even if you don't see all the results yet, your soul already knows. You're not in that place anymore. You're not carrying that weight anymore. You're finally moving from survival into creation. And what you're creating now is rooted in something solid, something you couldn't access back when your confidence was still clouded by fear or self-doubt. Because you healed the root, the branches no longer bear the same weight. Those patterns that kept repeating, they've lost their power. Those fears that once ruled your choices, they're dissolving. You've made a quiet but powerful shift, and now your life is going to start shifting with you. The Eight of Cups shows that your back is turned not in defeat, but in empowerment. You're walking towards something better because you finally realized you are something better. So don't be surprised when blessings start to sprout all around you, especially ones you weren't even expecting. You're not manifesting from desperation anymore. You're manifesting from wholeness, from balance, from truth. And that's why it's all going to land at once. You're not just calling in a few good things. You're stepping into an entirely new season of life. Because the divine feminine you are now isn't afraid to walk away from anything that doesn't match her worth. And that kind of clarity, that kind of energy, it brings in miracles you don't have to chase. Divine feminine, the final card I drew for you today is the Ten of Pentacles. And honestly, I got chills when it came out. Because this card, this moment, feels like the full circle of everything you've been building toward, whether you realized it or not. It's that place you've been walking toward in your spirit, in your imagination, in your heart, even on the days when you didn't have the proof that it was coming. And now, that proof is starting to show up, not in whispers anymore, but in real, tangible, physical blessings that you can touch, see, and live inside of. Your abundance is no longer just a vision. It's taking shape right in front of you. This Ten of Pentacles isn't just about financial stability, though that may very well be part of what's unfolding. It's about legacy. It's about foundation. It's about having walked such a long, uncertain, deeply healing path, and finally reaching a point where you feel grounded in who you are and what you deserve. Everything that you're calling in now is showing up because of that inner shift you made. You chose to believe in your worth. You chose to believe that love, success, and support weren't things you had to chase or prove yourself for. They are your birthright. And now the universe is reflecting that truth right back to you in every area of your life. There's something incredibly powerful happening behind the scenes, divine feminine. One specific breakthrough, one long-awaited manifestation that's about to click into place. And when it does, it's going to feel so aligned, so perfectly timed, that your only reaction might be to laugh or cry or just whisper, "Finally." This is something your heart has known for a while now, even if your logical mind couldn't quite see how it would all come together. And yet, here it is. Whether it's a relationship, a career shift, a creative project, or something entirely personal to you, this is your sign that the wait wasn't in vain. The roots grew deep, so the bloom could be lasting. But here's what's even more beautiful. This next chapter of your life isn't one you'll walk alone. With this card, I also feel this wave of connection, of community, of people who truly see you, not for what you can offer them, but for who you really are. You're attracting souls who celebrate you because they've done the same work within themselves. And that kind of alignment, it's rare, it's healing, it's real. This is going to be a season where laughter comes more easily, where you find yourself smiling in conversations that feel warm and safe, and where joy shows up in the small things, like music, morning light, shared meals, and heartfelt hugs. And if you've already started to feel these shifts happening, even in subtle ways, that's no accident. This energy has already begun to ripple through your life. You might notice unexpected opportunities showing up. People you haven't spoken to in a while might reach out with loving intentions. Or you might catch yourself feeling more peaceful, more whole, more in tune with your own rhythm. That's the magic of real alignment. It changes the external because you changed the internal. You're no longer manifesting from a place of lack. You're creating from a place of quiet knowing, and that is the most magnetic place to be. Divine Feminine, this final card is a blessing, a mirror showing you how far you've come. The Ten of Pentacles says, you're not just building a dream anymore, you are living it. One breath, one step, one sacred choice at a time. Everything that's arriving now, it's not a reward for being perfect. It's the natural response to you being real, honest, and rooted in your worth. Let yourself receive it. Let yourself enjoy it. Because this next chapter wasn't given to you, it was created by you. And it's only just beginning. Okay, this feels like a beautiful place to close the reading. What we've seen here is a reminder that your energy is powerful, your journey is guided, and spirit is always working in ways you may not fully see yet. Trust that what is meant for you will always find its way, and you don't need to chase. Just allow yourself to stay aligned and open. If you feel called to dive deeper, the exclusive and extended version of our readings are available right now on Patreon and through YouTube memberships. That's where we really expand on these messages and explore the layers that spirit couldn't fit into this space. Also, don't forget to check out the community posts and today's energy reading updates. I love connecting with you there and hearing how these messages meet you in your own journey. Drop your comments below, share your personal requests, and let me know how this reading spoke to you. And if you'd like to keep the energy flowing, I've linked some other videos here that I know will guide and encourage you. I'll see you in the next reading. Bye for now.